Hey guys, here's Louie, and on this episode, I'm going to try to knock out a whole bunch of things that I need to do to Ladybird here. One of them is being that I need to remove the front subframe. It needs to come off the car. All right, and I need to finish also welding into the grinding actually the wells in the inner wheel houses, both sides, if I could also seal the wells and paint the inner wheel wells and also the bottom of the floor. The trunk area in the back, everything came out nice there. As you guys can see, I already removed the fenders. These fenders will not be used. The inner fenders will be used, and they are actually Camaro inner fenders, and I'm going to turn them into Firebird inner fenders. So let's take a look on the trunk gap here, and it came out beautiful. Those are paint sticks I have in between. I also had to cut this side, but this side wasn't that far away, so I just cut here all the way down, which I still need to weld right there. I started grinding my welds. I will put a flashlight underneath. Anywhere I see shiny light through, I just tack weld it and grind it smooth again. The last process will be to clean the metal, okay? Give it a tooth. I'll probably use anywhere from like an 80 grit to take off this e-coat. And I order some epoxy primer to spray the epoxy primer, let that dry, sand the epoxy primer to give it a tooth. Okay, you could scuff it, and start my fiberglass filler on it on both sides. But yeah, this side is all grounded down and stuff. So I love the gap. Check out the gap. Actually, a paint stick fits there, and now a paint stick fits here also. Beautiful. Everything is nice and squared here. Love the way everything works out. And once I'm done with the body work on both of the ends of the quarter panels here, I'm going to move into the rear bumper. As you guys could see, this tail panel did not come with the hole cutouts. So I also need to drill out the holes for the mounting bolts. And over here, there's a piece that get welded in the inside, all right, which are your bumper brace supports, okay? And I will put that on the car too. I'll show you guys how I do that. I'll see if I could get that far today. And a whole bunch of things. When I remove the front subframe, I need to clean up the firewall real good, put seam sealer where it needs to be seam sealed, and paint this satin black. So stay tuned. I'll bring you guys back once all this is removed. All right, guys, so I removed the subframe bolts and the bushings where they get mounted to the car. And I want to show this because a lot of people sometimes have these questions, and if you watch this video, well, your question will be answered. So it takes 2 bushings, okay, body bushings at the very front of the subframe, 2 at the front torque boxes. These are your torque boxes, okay, that's your subframe, and 2 more bushings on the back, okay, of the subframe. So the very front one is going to be the smallest in diameter, okay? It's going to be the both of the smallest in the pack, all right? And Firebird had 1, 2, 3 holes. If you have the frame with 1, 2, 3 holes, you're going to put it on the hole in the very front and leave these 2 exposed. Now, my first experience of a Firebird having 2 holes here for this bolt to go through is on the Lovebird, the 68 Firebird that I'm building on my wife. which I will continue once I have Lady Bird more forward, you could say, more advanced in the project. But if you have two mounting holes, you'll put it on the very furthest one to the front, exposing one. Okay, so remember, the smallest of the bushings go in the front, and they go just like this and sandwich your radiator support, which will be mounted here. Okay, it'll be right between these two bushings. Then the tallest bushing, okay, look at the height here, is going to be for the front torque boxes. All right, so that's two. And the third set of the lower body bushing, see, it's not as tall as the one I showed you for the front torque box, will be at the rear of your subframe. Okay, your front subframe. So that's 2, 4, 6. Comes 6 in a kit. And if you buy the kit with the bolts and all the hardware, it makes it easier. Okay, I will be painting all of this once I'm ready to finally install the subframe again. And this is what I use. Okay, I put a block of wood on the transmission cross member and the jack here, and I just remove the other piece of the handle. It's right here. I remove that. Then on the front, I use another jack and another block of wood with an old winter hat that I don't use anymore, for like that the subframe doesn't get scratched. And I also put the jack stands here. This has been a great help. I explained this on a previous video. And I always put wood first underneath the rockers, and then I put my jack stand. Like that, the metal doesn't get destroyed here, okay? And she's real nice and tight. See, the wood does not move at all. It doesn't dance. And that's how I lowered the subframe. And I just keep lowering little by little, little by little. And as I'm lowering the front, I'll stop, lock the jack, come back here, lower the one from the back of the transmission cross member, and I keep on going back and forth until the wheels eventually touch the garage ground. And now I'm ready to pull the subframe outside. Well, guys, check it out. The subframe is removed from the car's body. Now my goal will be, since I have this out, the subframe, and I have access to everything here on the firewall / cowl shoulder, I'm going to clean all the plug wells, seal all the plug wells to help it from not rusting again. The upper cowl, okay, and also the upper dash. I'm going to clean it real good, seal it up, and I'm going to be painting it satin black. That's how I've been doing it for all these years, satin black. I know there's a lot of people out there that sometimes even paints them body color, but I'm gonna paint it satin black. I mean, if you really want to get technically original from factory, it will be like a satin black from here down, okay, also in here and that cowl shoulder, this part, and from here on to the back it will be body color. Okay, I mean, even here you can still see the factory Vandero green still. So I'm going to be cleaning this out. All right, seam sealing, cleaning this old seam sealer that's still there a little bit, and seam sealing it. Now I was checking this out, and the person that put the car together, of course we all know that story already, but he solid weld this part right here going to like almost where it curves right there, and then the rest could be seam sealed. So I'm not gonna cut this or anything or bust the welds to seam seal it, you know. I think that's just a little too much right now. I'm leaving it like that. I mean, it's solid weld, and I'll leave it. I'll cover it, I'll seal it, and I'll paint it, but there is space to seam sealed here which is correct, and there's still space from here down to seam sealed. Okay, like I said, I'll clean up the firewall real nice, address any plug welds I need to do, but so far everything on this side of the car actually looks pretty good welding wise. I'm just going to clean, and that's it. I did fix these braces that the convertible take, okay, and I did weld. You can still see I need to clean it, but I welded there and I welded that one because it wasn't that good weld. All right, I'll do everything else I need to do while I have access here and not the subframe in my way, not the transmission or the engine in my way. And once I'm sealing this and I paint the firewall, I'm gonna move down to the bottom of the floor and seal everything, and the car should be nice and sealed and protected. I'll bring you guys back as I move along. All right, guys, so wherever I needed to repair a weld, I did, okay, and wherever I needed to clean a weld, I did. All right, which right here was a rusty hole. I never saw it because I had the cowl panel, so I expected all this already, and I welded it shut and I grind everything that was really high. Okay, now what I am doing is I'm using a Scotch-Brite pad. This is the gray Scotch-Brite pad. Let me share something with you guys. So I buy this Duragold set right here. All right, that's the part number, and it comes with the gray and the red. All right, a whole bunch of them. I have done about 3 cars with that set, and I still have pads left. So the next thing I will do is scuff the whole entire firewall, and I'm doing with the gray, the light one on top of the dash panel. Okay, I'm going to continue using the scuff pad, and after I finish using the scuff pad on top of the wells, okay, any wells that I see on top, I will use a wire wheel, okay, and clean out the wells, seal the wells real good. All right, and then from there I will wipe everything with rubbing alcohol. After rubbing everything with alcohol, I'll clean it one more time using Windex. I'll show you guys. And then pretty much I'm ready for the paint process after I do the seam seal. Okay, I'll bring you guys right back, but it's simple as just scuff like you're sanding to give it a tool for the paint to catch. Okay, and after that you'll clean it, wipe it off with alcohol, and my last wipe will be with Windex. So I'll bring you guys right back, but that's how the firewall looks so far. Everything so far so good. All right, and when I was repairing the toe boards on this car, which the gentleman never solid welded the toe boards, I mean, I was cleaning that up and I could see pure penetration coming through the firewall, meaning that my welds are nice and solid. Well, guys, I'll bring you guys right back. All right, now guys, I'm gonna start the seam sealer process, and the only one that I want to come out nice and clean will be here. So I'll put a piece of tape facing this way, and this side I'll leave it without no tape, and just when I put the seam sealer, I run my finger through it. Okay, from factory, none of this look nice and neat. All right, that's a no-no. Believe me, if you want to make it nice and neat, well, you'll put a piece of tape here and another piece of tape here, lay down your bead, remove the tape. Okay, I have found it to be less headaches just putting the seam sealer, and then you come back to the place where you're putting the seam sealer at and wipe it down with some mineral spirit. Okay, and with a towel and mineral spirit, it'll come out nice and clean. All right, so I'm gonna apply seam sealer here on the upper dash, going down here, these seams, okay, all that kind of stuff. And like I said, put the seam sealer and then wipe it down with some acetone or mineral spirit. All right, even alcohol will work on rubbing alcohol. So I'm gonna go get busy seam sealing the firewall and everything that needs to be seam sealed, and I'll bring you guys back. All right guys, so far there it goes. All the areas that need to be seam sealed are seam sealed, okay. And like I said, if you have a spray bottle or something of I use acetone for this one, okay. I'm going to tell you exactly what I use. And you spray it, you have some gloves, you could just smooth it out and she'll dry up, okay. You could just smooth it out and it'd be nice and smooth. Well, I'm going now to seal the wells. All right, put some primer on and then get ready to paint the firewall. So far so good. All right guys, so I'm wearing a mask. I hope you could hear me. I sprayed one coat, okay. I sealed everything up first, okay, and then I went to a paint, and I'm using a rattle can satin black here. I'll share with you the can that I'm using. I just don't want to be spraying and the phone is around because it'll mess up my lens until I come up with an idea. But right now, that's coat number 1. So far so good. We're going to coat number 2 now. Well guys, here's the results on the firewall and upper dash. I think it came out beautiful. Absolutely not the same car that came to Pennsylvania, okay, some months back. I mean, really nice job. I love it. I did not paint the side of the cow's shoulders because I'm waiting for my epoxy primer to come, and the whole car will be epoxy prime sealed for the owner whenever he decides to get the final body work done and paint. Which, I mean, I don't know if he's gonna bring the car back, but honestly I would love to paint this car. It doesn't look that bad in my eyes now because I really have fixed a lot of issues here. One being that I also showed this quarter panel was tucked in, and the rest of the quarter panel that was original was up. That was a huge issue with the car, and I was able to tackle it. Okay, I spot welded all the way shut. I just need to grind my welds, which is very little. All right, I had to cut over here at the wheelhouse to let it flex towards out of the car, going out. If you understand, I had to make a relief cut for the quarter panel to go like this and stick out, and that's how I was able to match it with the body line and everything. Like I showed before, the trunk, and I haven't shown you guys, but I'm gonna show you guys now. Complete floor is nice and sealed and painted. I mean, totally different car, guys. Big time different car. All right, looks brand spanking new in here. I'm really happy of my job. I'm excited. I'm gonna do the trunk on another video. If you guys really want to watch that, let me know in the comments, because like I always say, if I don't get that much comments, I won't make the video, because it's really time consuming. And every time I'm off from work, guys, I come down here and try to dedicate some time to the lovebird, to the ladybird. Sorry, the ladybird. I have too many birds on my mind. I also have to dedicate time to the family, to the house, All right, so if you guys need it, I will make it. But awesome, awesome, awesome. Lady Bird really have come a long way. If the owner decides to hit me up and tell me to paint his dash gloss black, I will. The top, I did not want to do it gloss black because I did my red car gloss on the dash and she shines a lot. I mean, it's a high gloss. I might have to scuff it and paint it with a satin red. So I learned my lesson, and that's how it goes, you know. The more you do, the more you learn. But guys, absolutely beautiful. Every time you guys dedicate some hard work to your project, believe me, you'll see this. Now, here is the rattle can that I use, okay? Crayon, satin black. Let me see if I could pop up. That's the part number right there. Hope you guys could see it. And the floor is the Rust-Oleum paint, satin black. Okay, Rust-Oleum oil base. I've been doing it like this for years. Let's be real now, guys. Your car is not gonna see the nasty weather no more. Not these classic cars. You're not gonna drive it on a snowy day or day that they throw salt all over the ground or anything like that. This will last. I'm 100% sure. I did my 67 moons ago and it still looks pristine. The floors and the firewall. Well, guys, I hope you learned something here. And like I always say, keep your hands dirty and your project will move forward. Bye-bye now.